Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse, Counts Marine, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and Avery Superstore.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Once again, it is Outdoors with Larry Ray, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio broadcasting, coming to you from the spacious 790 ESPN studios out here off of Interstate 240 in Memphis. For you good folks out there in Brownsville, Tennessee, we stream live on 95.3, and in Jackson, you're on News Talk 101.5. All things that you want to know about outdoors, you'll find on the longest-running outdoor radio programming, and we're not certain if it's not the longest-running radio show in Memphis right now. But without further ado, the one and only, the oracle of the outdoors, the seer of all things, Larry Ray.
The seer of all things. Now, he's added something. Every month he adds a little bit to that introduction, and really the guest that always comes after that is really special. We don't just do that for every guest, you know, but Frank has a knack, and you're next over there, Andy. You get to do the last one. So I'm really scared on that because as big words as you've already used today, I'm not really sure what that serum was that you were talking about. And hippopotamus, too. So, hey, we're really happy to have with us on today's show. Thank you, Frank. As usual, Frank has the FM voice, and he does a great job there. But I put him on the spot, but I had a chance this past weekend. Of course, I've heard about Hope Outdoors through my church, Bartlett Hills, and other ones. And Hope Outdoors had a booth at the Buck, Duck, and Bass Expo last weekend, Sportsman's Expo, and had a chance to meet Steve Opie Thomas. He is the National Director of Hope Outdoors. Out of Tupelo is where Opie lives. And first of all, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Good morning to you.
Thank you for being with us. And talk a little bit about Hope. And I know that you gave me kind of a synopsis a little bit about you're a member of the Mossy Oak Pro Staff. You've been the Director of Hope Outdoors since 2011. Talk a little bit about the organization itself and what's its purpose.
All right. Well, Hope Outdoors originated way down in lower Alabama, down around Chatham, Alabama, which is about an hour north. Yeah, north of Mobile, about an hour. And there's just a group of guys that came together that wanted to do ministry, and they wanted to use the avenue of hunting and fishing, but they wanted to minister to special needs individuals. Yes. And they saw a need for it, and that's where their hearts were. And so 2006, it began by taking one person, and it just one person would come in, and another group would come in and say, "Hey, I'd like to start a chapter like this," and so they went to Arkansas and started a chapter. And next thing you know it, I've been with them. I've been involved with them since 2008. Became the national director in 2011, but we're up to 18 chapters now in 6 different states.
Wow!
And
it's
just
pretty cool.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful ministry because I'll be honest, we minister to more than just those special needs people in those chairs. Your volunteers, your landowners, your good old boys that love to guide but need to hear the good news about Jesus. And so we just used it. It's an awesome avenue to be able to share the gospel to anybody who comes and gets involved with this thing.
And Opie, I know that you deal with is it primarily kids? Is that
we do? We do adults too. Now a lot of our chapters will have a youth hunt, and we got a few states, and every once in a while we'll get to go to Kansas, and I like it how Kansas does. If you're disabled, you get to hunt on the youth hunt. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah, I would. But but in Mississippi, most of our chapters, we have 8 or 9 chapters here in Mississippi. They're geared towards taking everyone.
Everyone.
From all ages.
All ages. And we're talking about, when you say disabled, what are we talking about here?
Well, I like to say special needs, just
Yes.
because you may have somebody in a wheelchair, you may have somebody sick with a disease, or terminally ill, whatever. But your special need may be a kid that lost a father to cancer, or
There you go. Yeah.
just he just needs a little loving on. He don't get out in the outdoors that much, and that's just the avenue. I mean, just a way that we can get him out in God's creation, and then share the gospel to him.
All right, Andy, you listen to this, and you got that little fellow. Hutch is how old now?
He is 4.5.
And you've been in the blind or whatever it be with some people that weren't as fortunate as we are.
Absolutely.
And so an organization like this, well, how does that touch you?
This is pretty nifty.
Yes.
We do a lot of youth hunts, outdoor woman hunts, and we're really getting into the wounded warrior hunts.
Yes.
And one particular hunt, we actually took some guys over to Arkansas that had just got back from Afghanistan, and one particular individual, I remember we were at this one particular duck club, and he spent the majority of the evening, we were trying to cook and do whatever, he had to lay on the couch with bags of peas all over his abdomen from where their particular vehicle they were in that had been blown up.
Oh,
But he had a wonderful time. I mean, we were able to get him in the blind, get him to shoot ducks, keep him and his other partners comfortable.
And I know that's Opie. When you hear things like that, it's we just a lot of times we take for granted what God's given to us and don't realize there are people out there that are hurting. And your organization, to me, seems like it's an organization that is anti-hurting, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. And we have individuals that bring their kids that they'll say, well, I hunt all the time. It ain't always about the hunt. It's pretty cool when I see parents that hunt all the time come to one of our events and they look around and they go, you know what? We're not the only ones that are going through this. And
that's right.
So some of these people, man, they're the only ones in their town, the only ones in their churches, and they come to our events and they feed off each other.
Yeah.
And it's just sharing the love, loving each other, showing compassion to each other, and it just does people good. My heart has been for the past several years going out to these adults, these the primary givers, the parents that are going through, because we think they go to a job.
That's right.
Yeah, they go to a job for 40 hours a week, and then the rest of the hours of the days they're spending the time having to take care of people.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff going on that we don't even know behind the scenes with these individuals, and that's why we just try to love on them each way we can.
And you, in your background, talk a little bit about you have a real life, or you?
Yeah, well, I do now. I do now. I didn't get a real life till I was about 44. I didn't get married.
Talk about that. You got twins at
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't because I couldn't. I wasn't trying. I promise you that.
Yeah.
And I was in Waynesboro, Tennessee at age 43. I had a hunting store. I started videoing and doing guiding turkey hunts. Store went under, and I've been in the ministry for leading worship, traveling for about 16 years, and I started doing outdoor ministry. And dumbest mistake I ever made, buying a hunting store.
Yeah,
never liked to hunt, and but finances, everything fell through. I had to move back home with my folks at age 44. And I always tell people my dad was 84, Mom's 79, and the temperature in the house was always 82. And I was that 40-year-old moving back into my folks. But through all that, I met my wife. She wasn't supposed to have children. 7 weeks into our marriage, we found out we were 5 weeks pregnant. And to top it off, God had a real good sense of humor and gave me twins. So I'm 50. I am 50 years old, and I have 5-year-old twins.
I think that's wonderful, and that's we're talking to Steve Opie Thomas he's the national director for Hope Outdoors and a member of the Mossy Oak Pro staff. And I know a lot of people want to know how you got your nickname, and I got to ask you this since we're on the radio, and you've probably told everybody this, and you don't like the Andy Griffith theme song and all that, but
no, I love Andy Griffith. That's how I got it. I was watching Andy Griffith at the wrong time, and Union University and fraternity brothers walked in and said, "You look kind of like Opie." And at our college, when you did something stupid or watched watch something in a different way. Yeah, that's how you.
And you became Opie in college at Union.
At Union, yep, in college, and I got nominated class favorite 3 years in a row, and they put Stephen Thomas. My own fraternity brothers didn't know who that was.
They didn't know. All they knew was Opie and everything.
Yeah,
so how does people get involved in this then, Opie?
Man, well, first of all, you follow us on our Facebook and just check us out, see what we do. You can get online and check out all of our events, what's coming. Now, if an individual wants to come hunt with us, they just have to get on our line on our website.
Okay.
Just look at the calendar, figure out which hunt that you would like to go to. Doesn't matter what state it's in, and fill out an application. We will take care of the license and everything for you. I will throw this out there. The beautiful thing about being in Mississippi, our commission helps us out, and they say you don't have to pay for out-of-state license. That's not so.
Yeah,
that's not. Great. We're trying to get that done in Tennessee, but right now, when we take 10 people, it costs us $214 a person.
A person.
But that's where our money goes if they're out of state.
If they're out of state, but Mississippi, you don't pay a dime then. So,
we don't pay a dime in Mississippi.
Well,
I wish more states would do that for our special needs people.
Well, I do too. And you're
absolutely. If you keep it at the special needs people, and I just buried a good friend of mine, and he leaves behind a 12-year-old son.
Oh my!
So now we're all going to have to to pitch in,
step up.
Absolutely. So you keep it along those lines right there. You would think that our commission would, at some point in time, say, okay, let's do a some kind of special
needs license. Perfect.
And the director can write off on that. He can. If you've got a special hunt going, they can waive the fees at some point.
Yeah. Well, I hope our commission is listening, because we have our West Tennessee chapter guy went and stood before them, and they said they were going to do something, but that was about 2 years ago.
Hey, we're going to put that on our frying pan here, Andy. Tweet and myself and help you along here. Hey, man, thank you. I had no idea what your real name was, but now we know, Steve. So thank you, Opie. Man, appreciate it. Good to see you at the show. And anything we can do for you up here at Outdoors with Larry Ray, just let us know. Okay, buddy?
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
God bless you, buddy. Okay. All right. Let's take a break. Come back. Close this baby out. I'm going to let Andy Tweed, because he ought to be the Frog Togs man. I can just see him over there wearing his Frog Togs. I hope we can get in touch with Will Fowler. I tried a while ago and couldn't get him. We're going to try one more time, but we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.